So during this video, I'm going to be explaining on how to set up tasks, um, essentially for VAs or any other assistant that's going to be working on projects. And the reason why we want to do this and follow a specific platform when we do this is not only to make it easier for the VA or whoever is working directly on a project to know exactly what needs to be done, but also for any project manager who's going to be doing this, you essentially have a full understanding how to create a task, how to set everything up, how to make sure that people are notified so they know everything, as well as most importantly, how to follow up. That's going to make the system easy for everybody, and it's going to allow us to automate certain tasks. So you see, I'm already in the middle of setting up, so I'll use this for example. So uh, specifically, for your task, you will essentially put in something, and this is just for create a guest post for Google My Business videos. Now, specifically, how to set up a task correctly. First thing you're going to put is the process. Now, in order to access the process, first thing you're going to do and let me go back through all this. This sheet will be shared. It is actually in the client folder. Let me duplicate this so you can see it. So first thing is you go to projects, you go to mark SEO asset network, you go to notebooks, you go to local SEO, and you go to local SEO process, and then you just click this link. It's going to take you directly to this page. Now, depending on the client tasks, now in this context, we're going to essentially be setting up a guest post to link to a client's Google My Business, to link to videos that are linking to the client's Google My Business to help rank it. So like you literally talked before, you go into the process, you find the part that talks about guest posts. Literally to make your life easier, you just go Control F, post, bam, just take this link, click it, copy it, copy the link URL, and then put it directly right here. Now the VA understands what process they need to follow. Second thing that you are going to do is pretty much put where the link, you're going to put the link when the process is done. So basically, since the client is called Carver Insurance, give me a second, let me pull up all this information. Now you're going to go to the sheet. The sheet will be provided to you in Teamwork. And actually, let me, while I'm at it, I'll actually show you how to create a quick notebook. So say like for this, it's called Consulting Services Clients. Got that in very easy. I just put that in again, not that big of a deal. And then put in list of clients. Take this, duplicate this, we'll create a new one. Oops. Use this in a spreadsheet, and we'll call this list. Take this link. So take this, copy this, put it in here. Since you go in here, you book the people who are going to have access to the sheet, local SEO, and for something like this, yeah, I put in this section context. So really, the only person that should have access to it is the project manager. Really, whoever is going to be managing and pretty much quarterbacking and assigning tasks is the only person that needs to have access to this. So the person is going to be project managing this. Create the notebook. Now it's essentially going to local SEO. So anytime I type in local SEO, it's essentially going to pull you to the sheet. So now that I have the client list, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find the corresponding client. I'm going to go directly to their client Google Sheet, which is right here. So now that I have this pulled up, and since we're going to be talking about guest posts, we're going to go to the section that's called Tier 1, Tier 2. Okay, that's all good. Cool. So for me personally, you're actually going to go to the backlink section. And all this stuff is highlighted right here. So I'll show you how to do all this stuff right here as well. It's not difficult to do whatsoever. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually outline to the VA, whoever's going to be working on this, precisely where to put the information. So you use this process, and then you put in go to section and actually put client sheet. Now, also too, if the client has sensitive information that you don't want the VA essentially looking at, all you really can do is just copy this information. You can just copy this information like you saw me do before, duplicate it, create another one, have this only for the VA, and then you can input it yourself. But in this case, you know, the VA that I'm going to be using, I trust, so it's not a big deal. So you put in a client sheet right here. And second thing, I'm going to go down to this, and I'm going to put more detailed instructions. So guest post. Now, in this context, I already know what keywords that I'm going to be using, but pretty much when you put in the instructions, you're just going to put in something like, and I'll use this for example, create guest post for Google Business for videos, for YouTube. Google My Business. Now, basically within this, see what's in here too as well. Okay, I need to put these in here, so I know where these are at. So these are essentially all the YouTube videos that have been made. Okay, I'll just show as an example. Oops, slow this down right here. See the location. So that's for Temecula. So I'll put in location, like it says in the title, Temecula, backlink, YouTube, category. This one links to Google My Business, so just for Google My Business. Now, typically, you can put, what I typically did right here is I put in the URL for this individual, pretty much for this individual like listing without the client in here. So if I needed to do it for another client, I can have the direct listing. You don't have to do that. I'm just very, very detailed. So pretty much next thing, I'll put in the next one. I don't need to go through every one, so cut the link address. Actually, another category I need to put in here is description. So this one was car insurance quote. So car insurance quote. This one will be business insurance. So this one will be, the other one will be Temecula Insurance Services. So this one will be Temecula Auto Insurance. Yes. And just take these, go all the way down. I'll just grab the link and put them all right there. Very simple and straightforward, really not too much work. So that's done. Okay, so now all that stuff is essentially done. This makes it very easy for the VA to understand exactly when they put in this information, exactly how to follow it. Like I said, backlink type, put in where it is, location that's based out of, the link, and all this information. So when they actually do the guest post, all this information is readily available. So once again, instructions create guest posts for YouTube videos. Are in the Google notebook called backlinks. Post linking to the, I believe this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 6 videos. So create a guest post linking to the 6 videos listed. And then also too for the VA, I like to spell it out, and in your context, it's going to be easy. Just go grab these ones. I'll just grab all of these, and I think they should be able to render it horizontally. Perfect, perfect. So basically, very simple. You put in the process. You put in the process so they understand to do it. You put in the client NAP to put where they need to put the information, and then instructions. So one more thing I'll add in here to kind of spell it out for them. Client sheet to put information after post, put in input backlinks, to input backlinks, guest post, created, and backlinks. Okay, perfect. So now we got this broken down very simply, straightforward for the VA. So they now know which process to use. They know which notebook they need to input the information after it's done, and which notebook they need to put it into. They have their instructions. Now all that stuff is done. So the last thing you're going to do is you're going to put in, so the main project manager, which is going to be myself, a secondary project manager, or the VA. You put their information too, so everybody can see it. I put in multiple people in this sense. I put in start date. Now, typically for me, I'm not really a huge fan of end dates, just because there's a lot of different things that can come up. VAs can get busy with certain things, but I let them know the start date. Now, in this context, I'm just going to put a week, notified by email. I mean, actually, no, really, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't really need it, but typically, I try to do everything by a week. Like, a lot of this stuff really can get done maybe in about a day or two. Shouldn't be that much longer than that. But usually, try to do everything by a week or so point. But yeah, just for the sake of this video, I'll put a week, and then bam, you're done. So that's essentially how we're going to be setting it up. I want to make sure I have the rest of the stuff in there too. So yeah, now that you pretty much understand how to set up the task, really every single task that you do from now on is going to evolve around that. Once again, first thing, you're going to show the process. Second thing, you're going to show which sheet to put in the information for the client when the VA is done with the work, so everything is organized in the client sheet. Third thing, you're going to put in the instructions on exactly what to do, and particularly in this case, the properties that they're going to be linking to. So when they do the work, once again, they know what they're doing, they know where to put it, and they know how to do it. Once all that stuff is done, you're going to have a pretty easy, straightforward process. Almost every single process for any client, any task is going to revolve around those three things. First of all, what they're going to be doing, where they're going to place information once it's done, and how they're going to be performing it. Um, that's basically it. So that'll be it for this video, explaining on how to set up tasks in teamwork and following a basic process and framework on how to organize tasks. I will see you in the next video.